KDRT 95.7 FM. The show is our special pop-up show called Live in the Loam. In that show, we feature guests that are traveling throughout the area. And this week, we have a very special guest with us. And I want to welcome Dirk Hamilton. Dirk, welcome to Live in the Loam.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You are traveling throughout the area. You're going to be playing in the Palms Playhouse in Winters, November the 8th.
That's Saturday?
That's Saturday.
8 o'clock.
At 8 o'clock. And you're hitting several of the venues around here in Berkeley, I believe, and other places. And you're originally from Indiana, but you grew up here.
I knew that.
Yeah. But, I mean, really, Stockton or Sacramento? I kind of read both.
Well, my parents moved to Sacramento when I was 4, and they took me with them.
Right.
And I grew up pretty much in Sacramento. Lived in Parkway Estates, and went to Fernbacon Junior High School, Luther Burbank High School. Then my senior year, my dad was transferred to Stockton, and I was in Stockton for a couple of years.
Were you already playing music back then?
I started when I was about 8.
Guitar or piano?
Guitar, and played it off and on just for fun, and I got real serious about it when I was like 14.
Right, right.
We had a surf band in Sacramento.
Nice. 17 albums already, and you mentioned that one of your favorite ones is the one that was just reissued again, and I think you recorded that 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's called Suffer Up a Chuckle.
Very good.
Suffer Up a Chuckle. What does that really mean?
In Italy, they have a saying called, that says, suffering is the teacher of life. And I noticed that seems to have been a theme, and that has, I don't know, it seems to, it has been a theme that I hit over and over again in my songs. And then when I realized it, and I saw there's a lot of that theme in that album, and I was figuring out what am I going to call this thing. And at some point, it just popped into my head, Suffer Up a Chuckle. Laugh till it hurts, hurt till you laugh.
Nice.
Sofferenza è la maestra di vita. In Italian.
Our audio fellow, Pieter, who you met a little bit ago, said that we talked about you being very popular in Italy and here, and he said, no wonder you're so popular in Italy. When we see your YouTube performances, you're very animated, very Italian almost. Could that be part of the reason you're so well liked over there?
I never have an idea why people like me or don't like me. Well, sometimes I have an idea why they don't like me. I don't know.
Okay.
I think mostly I'm a poet. I'm a word songwriter, and they don't understand my words. So when the first 5, 6 years I started playing, I played there. I was kind of like baffled by it and disturbed by it, but at some point I realized that I'm doing something. There's something in the music there that's making them feel something. Yeah. And I've decided to look at it as a positive.
I want to talk about your lyrics a little bit more after you've played a song or two for us, because it is very poetic. And I notice one thing about your lyrics is they're very down to earth, but they give you an example of life in a little twisted different way, like bump in the day. Remember that line?
Things that go bump in the day.
Things that go bumping, you turn it around, because we as children know the story, things that go bump in the night.
Right.
So you switched it around.
Yeah, it's fun to do sometimes.
Yeah. So can you play a song for us to begin things off with?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. And what's the name of this one?
I don't know yet. I haven't decided what to play.
Okay, well, we'll give you a few moments here.
This is this one I started writing like in 1974, I think.
Yeah.
around there, and I finished it like about 8 months ago.
Wow. 84, 94, 104, 40 years in the making.
Yeah, but I didn't work on it constantly. I just,
Yeah.
I even forgot about it, and then it came back to me, and finally I was to the point where I could finish it.
Let's hear it.
Somebody help me, I feel like I'm dying. My heart keeps pumping the poison through. From a crack in my cave, I can see to the outside. But I'm hungry and aching, too weak to crawl through. Oh, for the love of a lady. Oh, for the love of a lady. Love the lady. By a looking glass watched as I sat and reflected on all of the bodies I've touched with my hands, and all of my fingerprints left on the windows that I could see through but could never get in. Oh, for the love of a lady. Oh, for the love of a lady. The only one who could save me was the lady. By streams and by rivers I've searched for Petulia. She's graceful and golden and silent like ice. She burns on my head like a flame on a candle that's cold in the day but's a fire in the night. The only one who could save me was the lady. Where's the lady?
Man, I got tuned up.
Very nice. You know, I jotted
Sit
down.
down?
Yeah, have a seat. Have a seat. I jotted down one line I heard: cold during the day and a fire at night.
Yeah.
Well, that says something to me.
What's it say to you?
Well, you know, it means someone comes alive during the evening hours. And I was trying to follow the lyrics in the song, but I was having a little trouble because they were telling me with my computer things weren't going 100%. Maybe you can talk a little bit about what that song, you're trying to say with that song.
I'm not a big fan of, that one's a tough one. It's, the first song I ever wrote was, of any account, was a song called Petulia's Hair. I was about 15 then, I think. And that seems to be another theme in my life, is searching for something I can never quite get.
We all do that, I think, don't we?
And there's something female about it.
Oh,
I don't know if it's literally a female or I don't know. And in the song I say, by streams and by rivers, I've searched for Petulia. Man, my guitar is really out of tune.
it's this weather.
Sorry.
It's the weather in Northern California.
or I bumped it against my leg while we were just sitting here doing nothing.
So, we talked a little bit about lyrics, and you described yourself as a poet. Would you say you're a poet first and a musician second, or do they kind of combine?
I don't know. I don't even know if I'm a poet.
Oh.
Most of what I say is just guesses about the music. I don't finish a song until I know it's finished. It's finished, I feel it.
Yeah, yeah.
But as far as talking about that stuff, that's always kind of just kind of shooting the breeze for me.
Yeah.
It's all in the songs, you know.
But it's interesting you say once you finish the song, it's finished, because I've had artists in here that if we're playing a song from their CD or something and it's in the background, they'll say, please, I don't want to hear it, because I always hear something I can fix. Are you like that also when you hear one of your songs out of one of your 17 CDs?
No, I'm pretty good at...
All right. You said to zoom out.
Zoom out.
Zoom out, yeah. Okay.
This cameraman's talking a lot.
Yeah, I know, he's talking. Yeah. Alrighty, so I'm going to read a couple of your lyrics, and just for you guys to hear, and then we'll have you sing another song, okay? And that is, dangerous and life is hard in a world of nuclear. Nuclear, you said nuclear, but you spell it Nookely. Nuclear bombs.
Nuclear bombs.
Nuclear bombs. So anyways, people who need people, they must be very happy here, but I wish I could take a couple of million and rocket ship somewhere else.
Who wrote that?
You wrote it.
No, somebody messed it up. So it was like an Italian did it or something. No. People who need people must be very happy here, but I wish a couple billion would take a rocket ship away somewhere.
Yeah.
You're not reading it right.
Oh, sorry. Alrighty, I misread it. Okay, why don't you sing a song for us here?
Dangerous, everybody is alone. It's strange for us, with everybody bowing over cellular phones. Look at the sunset, materialize. It's yellow like the blood of a bug, dripping down the dirty purple skies. Electric light has canceled the night, and things are going bump in the day. Danger, let's too bad strangers. Danger can make your heart of stone. It's dangerous and life is hard. In a world of the nuclear bomb, starvation and the credit card, people who need people must be very happy here. But I wish a couple billion would take rocket ships away somewhere. I gotta admit, I get frightened to bed. Now things are going bump in the dead. Danger, let's do better strangers. Danger can make your heart of stone. Danger, 'cause we're too many strangers. Danger can make I'm walking down the street, thinking on my feet. I wonder how the ground feels covered in concrete. When a man falls in a city, you know it doesn't make a sound. The ghosts of all the wild things that man has displaced, they howl and growl and they haunt this place. That croak and slang, invisible wings are flapping around my face. I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching 1,000 fish decay. Money does the talking, and the money don't care. Everywhere, danger. There's too many strangers. Danger can make your heart of stone. Danger is where too many strangers, and it keeps getting stranger and stranger. Danger can make your heart of stone. Or it can make your heart of stone. Hearts of stone. Fear is here, everywhere, 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 everywhere. Sometimes I gotta go outside amongst the people, and every single one's a stranger, and that means danger. But I've developed a technique. Someone comes up at the grocery store, for instance, while I'm resupplying, says something like, "Hi, how's it going?" I just go, I can't help myself. And it creates a lot of space around me. Got my deflector shield up.
You popped those words alive. My God, wonderful.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, awesome. Do you play a lot solo by yourself, or do you hook up with your band? Like when you're touring here, like when you'll be at the Palms this Saturday, is it going to be solo or with a group?
No, I'm playing solo gigs this tour.
Okay, okay.
I play as much with the bands as I front an Italian band in Italy called the Bluesmen.
Right.
That's fun. And also play solo and duo. And same here. Well, I got an American band too, but man, here it's harder and harder to get gigs with the band. You can't afford it, especially traveling.
Yeah. The band in Italy, do you stay primarily in Italy, or do you go around Europe?
We play, and I play outside of Italy, but mostly it's Italy. I did a bunch of records with big companies in the 70s, and
right.
They sold real well in Italy, and when I found out about that, I started going to Italy a lot.
Okay. Yeah, because I'd read that was it the producer of Steely Dan heard you and started producing some of your records at the beginning there?
He produced the first one.
Okay.
Gary Katz, yeah. In fact, I'm talking to him right now about maybe doing another one.
Same venue, because you had said that possibly he kind of manipulated, or I shouldn't use the word manipulate, but made you do some things that weren't natural to you on that first or maybe second album.
Well, no, he didn't manipulate me. In fact, I had the most fun making that record of maybe any record. It was one of the most fun records I ever made. We hit it off great. But he does records like Steely Dan did records. It's very, very meticulous, everything perfect.
Yeah.
And from him, I learned how to make records. And in the process, I realized, whoa, I should be making records exactly the opposite of this.
Okay.
So we still wanted to work together, but I said, can you make records? I want to do it basically live in the studio and just sweeten it a bit afterwards. And he says, I make records how I make them, and I can't.
Yeah.
So we parted ways, but we didn't part ways as friends. And now he says he can make records like I want to make them, so that could be cool after all these. He's been over 35 years or something.
He's still in L.A.?
No, he's in New York.
Oh, New York.
He's a New York guy. But he was in L.A. when we did the first one.
And you're based out of Texas now, I believe, right?
Yeah, I live in Dallas.
Okay, all righty. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed that last song. Hopefully you can do another one for us here.
Right now?
Absolutely.
Well, you're working me, dude.
Oh, I'm working you all right. That's why you're here.
All right. I don't know what to do. Oh, I know what to do.
Here we go. Kurt told me, the fellow sitting there told me when he was playing harmonica, you couldn't buy those things back in the day, and he had to make his own out of wood.
Maybe not in Sweden, or where are you from?
Sweden.
Not in Sweden, but you can buy them here.
Yeah.
Not at that time, you know.
We're talking 30s, I guess, huh?
That's a long time.
Oops.
Well, what do you get? You can always get it from Hohner, and that's just right next door in Germany. You remember the Germans?
So what?
Now I call this a music store, and it said, I'm looking for harmonica racks, and the kids go, well, we have harmonicas. No, harmonica racks, you know. He said, what? They don't know what it is. Now they call them harmonica holders.
Oh, holders.
Yeah. Harmonica racks, come on.
Yeah.
I used to live in Austin, Texas. Outside Austin, Maynard, Texas, and this one was inspired by this. This is brand new, this hasn't been recorded.
Okay.
It's called, I don't know what it's called yet. Down in Maynard, Texas, where we used to live, in a house full of scorpions on that old white ridge. Water moccasins in the water, snapping turtle stew, wet chiggers, snakes and hornets, and cactus stick you too. It was a head on the neck. It was a head on the neck, on the tail of a snake that bit him. You would have head on the neck. It was a head on the neck, on the tail of a snake that bit him. Tornadoes in the distance, lightning all around. The wind hit like an invisible train and tore the oak tree down. Eardrum cracking thunder directly overhead. Wife and kids are in the bathtub underneath the mattress bed. It was a head on the neck. It was a head on the neck, on the tail of a snake that bit him. You would have head on the neck. It was a head on the neck, on the tail of a snake that bit him. A tornado broke a window, sucked the air out of a room. I ran down the stairway,
into a raccoon. We both jumped up screaming. We both ran different ways. A Cabbage Patch doll named Clint came to life that day and started for the bedroom and the wife and kids. So I threw them out the window. That's exactly what I did. Rolling and tumbling, he twisted up the eyes where he taught the wicked witches just what wicked was. You would have had on the neck. There was a head on the neck on the tail of a snake that bit him. You would have had on the neck. There was a head on the neck on the tail of a snake that bit him. The winds continued eastward, blew the rain away. They found the body of a snake-bit man outside the house that day. Everything has changed now since that 6th of May. What happened had to happen. What else can I say? You would have had on the neck. There was a head on the neck on the tail of a snake that bit him. You would have had on the neck. There was a head on the neck on the tail of a snake that bit him. It was a heart. It was a heart on the chest. It was a heart in the chest in the body of the man that quit him.
Very nice. Have a seat, Dirk. You need to rest for a second here. You know, you had everything going there. Your feet, you were hitting the body of the guitar, you were playing harmonica, your voice. You seemed like you were in the moment in that song.
Well, that's where you want to be.
There you go.
Start thinking about stuff, you get in trouble.
You know, and I noticed that they were actually shooting pictures of you stomping your feet. So I hope you put your best shoes on for this.
I did.
Okay, good deal. So in one of the articles I read about you, I think it was the one where you were talking about this CD, you had mentioned that there's a way to organize the songs one after another that makes it flow. I was wondering if you could expand on that a little bit so I could understand.
Well, we call that sequencing. It's the
Sequencing, yeah.
sequence of the album. And that album was really easy to sequence. It just kind of came together. But I've done albums that it just took forever, weeks and weeks, and just
Trying to figure out the way which song goes where?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was having there's one of my favorite records called Yep. And I asked a friend, I was complaining to a friend about it, and he said, well, there's a lot of choices. I said, how many choices are there? There's 13 songs.
Yeah, yeah.
He said, oh, I know a guy that's really good at math. Something about F factor or some kind of factor. Anyways, like millions. There's millions of different ways you could arrange 13 different songs.
So do you have an album that stands out that's, in your mind, the best sequence?
No.
No.
Once I got the sequence, and that's about the last thing you do, well, then you got a master.
Well, okay, so you sequence it, but then, so is it the type of songs that you try to put together, or the wording in the songs, or a combination of both? Like, do you want to go from a snappy song to a more of a bluesy, slow song?
I have no concepts. I just do everything by feel. The way I write, the way I sequence, the way I do everything like that.
Like a painter.
Just feel how it feels, and when it feels right, you go, okay, this is it. Hopefully you get to a point on whatever you're doing that, okay, this is right. And usually I do it, and sometimes you just gotta abandon, okay, that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
I abandon this because I'm stumped. This is the best I can do, I think.
You mentioned that the previous song you sang is a new one. Are you working on a new CD?
I'm always writing, and once it feels like it's time to make a CD, then I start, now how the heck am I going to make a CD with no money?
And off you go.
And
You make it work.
It's magical. I don't know how I do it or how I continue, but I'm very grateful that it's been working, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you seem to keep them busy. When I saw, your schedule, you're popping up all over the place.
Yeah, just managing to keep busy and squeak through.
Yeah, I think
My son, I have a son. He's 19 now.
Yeah.
He was like 3 felt like about 2 years ago. But he's going to be a singer-songwriter. He's a better musician than I am.
Wow.
And I saw him play in Dallas a few weeks ago, and he's got it. I mean, it's not technique. It's something indefinable that makes an artist an artist.
What genre of music is he
got
into?
Same kind of stuff I am, but
Okay.
he's influenced with stuff the kids are hearing on YouTube
Of course.
and other influences.
Yeah.
But I'm really lucky. He thinks I'm like the Cast Pajamas. He thinks I'm really cool.
Isn't
Both
that
my kids. I
wonderful?
got a 13-year-old daughter. They say, watch out, the teenage years, but they both think I'm great, and I think they're great, and they're really at home in their skins, looking you right in the eyes. They're funny. They're perceptive.
Yeah.
I'm blessed.
Do you ever perform with your son?
I played a gig in Oklahoma just like last month, and he sat in for the first time.
Oh, nice.
And played some songs with me.
Has he recorded on any of the CDs that you've got out?
No, I mean,
No?
I just found out he's actually a real player last week. Or also the experience of having him sit in on some songs, I realized, wow. Because I said, okay, you play these 4 songs,
Yeah.
and I'll play them with you once, then you got the records, and we're not going to play them again until the gig.
Right, right.
And he just did it.
He took off. When did he pick up his guitar? At what age?
When he'd pick up my guitar,
Your guitar, yeah. Early on, I would imagine.
yeah. I don't even remember. It just seems like he's been tinkering around with guitars forever, and I didn't pay much attention, and then all of a sudden he caught my attention a couple years ago.
I just read where Jerry Lee Lewis, he's in the news again because he's putting out a brand new album. And when he was 8 years old, his father mortgaged their home to buy Jerry Lee Lewis a piano.
Really?
You can imagine. Yeah, I mean, the whole concept is just so unbelievable for me. But if you have a musical mind and that's your way of expressing yourself, I can see that happening.
I wouldn't be doing it.
You wouldn't be doing it.
No, because I've been in the music business.
Well, guitar's a little easier than a piano.
When my son's name's Chavis, when he's announced that that's what he's going to do, that's his passion, I said, well, you see how I live.
Yeah.
You see how hard it is? Yep. And then I said, okay, they need to do what everybody needs to do,
Right.
follow their bliss,
Right,
follow
right.
their passion. So I said, okay, you got my blessing.
Right.
Anything I can do for you. So I'm not going to be mortgaging anything to help you.
Yeah, but you're one of the 1% of musicians that makes it a living. I mean, we have a lot of people that come, you know, into the studio and sing, and by the time they're 25, they're getting married, and they need stuff, and
they're going to do it later.
they're going to do it later.
I never met one of these guys that said they're going to do it later. Do it later,
No.
except for on a very, you know, play for the old folks' home or something.
Right. So you don't do old folks' homes yet.
Well, I guess I'll be doing it because my dad's in one now.
How old's your dad?
I think he's going to be 88.
Is he a musician?
Nope. Straight bit. We couldn't be more dissimilar.
How about your mother?
She's gone, and she's just a mom. She's real good at loving.
So what kind of music was being played in your house when you grew up at home? What did they turn the radio to?
Man, I'm so old. I remember Elvis Presley starting.
Okay.
When I think I was 5. And they just listened, and then later on, they just, well, Dad is gone working all the time. She'd just have the little thing in the kitchen, little radio.
Right.
And, well, everybody had radios. I'd be listening, wherever there's a radio, I'd be listening to it. And I remember just being rapturous listening to Roy Orbison and
Okay, so it's
and
kind of,
Everly Brothers, all that
yeah,
stuff from
yeah,
back
yeah.
then. It's a great time.
we just lost one of them, didn't we, Don
Yeah.
Everly? Yeah.
Yes.
Do you ever do cover songs in your CDs or on tour?
Very occasionally,
Okay.
hardly ever.
Yeah. I think it'd be nice to, when an artist like Don Everly or somebody leaves, to hear some of their songs again being done in covers. But you rarely do that.
Yeah, and unless I can bring something new to it, unless I just happen to be tinkering around with something,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
every once in a while I'll find something and say, whoa, that's kind of cool, and I like it, but mostly I want to hear the original people singing.
Right,
I
right.
don't want to hear people singing Everly Brothers songs, except for Phil and Don.
Yeah. If people want to know a little bit more about you, where do they go? You have a website.
DirkHamilton.com.
Right. And
DIRK.
Hamilton.
Yes.
No dot in between it. And Dirk, where does that name come from? That to me, I have a brother called Dirk, and it's European. I don't know.
It's baffling because my mom and dad are straight Midwestern people. Just couldn't get more normal than them. And my dad comes up with, or one of them came, or both of them came up with Dirk. I always liked that name. And all my life, it was like I never met another Dirk till I was in my 30s. It was a very rare
It's a very rare name.
Not now, though. It's like, then I went to Germany, and Dirk's like Bob over there. Everybody's Dirk.
And okay, and you have a Facebook page.
Yeah.
So that's Facebook/Dirk Hamilton
I
with an I.
I guess so. I just seem to, I know how to get there, but I don't know how to tell anybody else to get there. I also got a fan page, so I got all that stuff.
Where do you go for a fan page?
I don't know. There's a little picture of me that I know is from the fan page right there, so I click it, and then it takes me.
But do you have it hooked into your Facebook or to your webpage, or no?
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay, well, if you want to know more, Google Dirk Hamilton. All sorts of things
Don't
pop
ask
up,
Dirk.
right?
If you want to know more, don't ask me, because I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I'm really old school.
You know, we're slowly running a little low on, well, not real low, but a little low on time. I would like to get 1 or 2 more songs in. Hopefully you've got that in you. And while you're getting ready, I want to remind people that November 8th at the Palms in Winters, you'll be playing, and I think the show starts at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock it is. 8 o'clock. And, you know, if there is a venue in this part of Yolo County, or in all of Yolo County, the Palms is the best, I think. Have you played there before?
I played there for like decades.
So you played when they were here in Davis, the Palms.
Yeah.
Wow.
That
Okay,
was, man,
you
it was
are an
some
old timer.
Magical times.
Yeah, the palms in Davis, if you can remember, you could look through the cracks in the wall, seeing outside. That's how sturdy that structure was.
Yep.
So, well, we're looking forward to seeing
It's
you
a
there.
magical place. I love it, and I'm really glad to be able to play it. Oh, Keith Carey, local celebrity,
Yes.
is going to sit in with me. We're becoming good friends.
Where did you meet him?
Last time I came through, I had a guitar problem, and I asked David, who books the Palms,
Right.
who to go to. He said, go to Keith Carey. So I went to
Absolutely.
him, and he fixed my problem, and we ended up sitting in his barn playing music for the next couple hours. And
Yeah.
then I was doing a house concert. I said, you want to sit in? He said, yeah.
Yeah.
And I just love him. Great
And
guy.
a
We have the
wonderful
same
human
taste
being.
in music. Yeah, it seems to be a great guy. We're going to get together tomorrow and maybe go through a couple songs.
And he's in a number of bands around here.
That's why I felt like I was really lucky to, when I got here, I called
Yeah.
him and said, you want to sit in? And I was surprised he was free to do it.
He played with, I forget the fellow's name, but used to be one of the Fish.
Joe McDonald?
Very much.
Melton, that's it, yes.
Oh, hey, he is Country Joe.
Yeah, Country Joe, yeah. And he sat in and played some tunes with him, I don't know, 6-7 months ago. So, okay, what are you going to play for us here?
I'm going to play a song called Everybody's Blues.
Okay.
When a baby cries, it's not because it's sad, and all the suffering you do is here to teach you. It's not because you're bad. Through dreams that never last, on dandelion parachutes we passed, and everyone from everywhere has everybody's blues. Everyone gets everybody's blues. Everywhere you look, everyone you see has a story they can tell, where comedy and tragedy hold hands and jump always and well. And the good guy lights the candles on the cakes, and at the bad guy's birthday party celebrates. And everyone from everywhere has everybody's blues. Everyone gets everybody's blues. And as the echoes from the Big Bang fade, we'll be keeping every promise that was made. 'Cause everyone from everywhere has everybody's blues. Everyone gets everybody's blues.
That's a tearjerker. Huh? You're kind of like, I'm going to have to hand out the Kleenexes here. No, that's gorgeous. When did you
thank
write
you.
that?
That was one of those gimme songs. They just went, one I was sitting there and that just came.
Wow.
Those are the best kind of songs that that's why I love this work so much, is you're dealing with, you're just right on the fringes or in magic, indefinable stuff that makes life so cool.
You know, the Rolling Stone, Keith Richards, said he's never written a song in his life. He just sits with his guitar and he just picks the tune out of the air. And he can't take credit for any of it. And he's sort of talking like you are, you know, like all of a sudden it's there. You write it down and...
Well, I'm taking some credit myself, though, because I really work hard at that. I got a feeling Keith comes up with these cool ideas, or maybe a word or two, and I think Mick does all the most of
and he might have a
words
little
and
help.
stuff.
He might have a little help too with, isn't he famous for his use of enhancements to help him along?
Who?
Keith Richards. I'm not talking about you
but
here.
I think at this point I think he's talking more about doing drugs than doing them.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't know.
That was wonderful, really. That was wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
I hope you've got that on the agenda for the Palms this coming Saturday, because people will be mesmerized, especially after they've had a beer or two. Right?
I don't know.
You don't know.
You're asking too hard of questions.
No, I think they're very easy. It's easy. You just want to make
I
it
should
so
just say yes.
complicated.
I should just...
No. I need more than a yes answer. But anyways,
I'm the kind of guy that, if you ask me a question, I really answer it. Like somebody says, "How you doing?" And don't want you to just go, "Huh," and then you're done. I start telling them, and I try to stop doing that because people don't want to know.
but I think people do want to know when we're talking with you, when people are here to listen.
Well, we're doing it, yeah, okay.
So-
in this circumstance, but
So you're planning a European tour now, I hear.
well, it's become a tradition where I play Europe every summer, fronting the blues band, and also supplement that with doing solo and duo gigs around Italy.
And when you go there, how long do you spend there?
Well, last time I was there for so long, I had trouble getting out.
What do you mean?
This fan-
Visa problems or?
This fan of mine that's become a friend has been paying for my airfare with his frequent flyer miles.
Really?
Yeah, but he had,
Italian?
no, he's American.
Oh,
Just he wants to help out. I'm just so blessed with
Wow.
friends. It's amazing. I couldn't do what I do without. I've always depended on the kindness of strangers.
don't we all? Well, yeah, don't we all?
Well, I don't know. Another hard question, Peter.
So you're on your way.
I don't like
so
these intellectual shows.
You didn't answer the question though. But how long do you stay? 3 months, 1 month, 6 months?
Well, last time I stayed 3 months, over 3 months, 3 months and a week or something. Everything was fine until I got Germany. And then this guy, I really felt like I knew what it was like being where the Nazis were there, because he really had a problem with that. You broke the rules.
What rules?
You've broken, because I stayed longer than 3 months, and apparently, well, what I learned from him is that if you stay longer than 3 months, you need a visa to be there.
Oh,
So he really wanted me to stay there, and
keep playing.
probably put me in a concentration camp or something. But he couldn't, so he just gave me a lot of trouble, and then I got in the plane and
Took off.
flew home.
Perfect. Well, we got time for one more song, so we're going to ask you to sing one more, and then we'll wrap it up here. As you're looking at, my goodness, you've got lots of songs written down there.
Man, this is just a little. I'm approaching 300 songs, I think.
That you've written.
Yeah. Because I've been doing it forever.
Is it hard to memorize songs? I write poetry sometimes,
kidding,
and I
all right.
feel it. I feel it's very difficult for me to memorize a poem, even though you write it yourself. But musicians seem to know all these words; they just keep coming.
I was just thinking about that. I don't know why, for some reason the other day, and it was. I think I've been doing it for so long, you get good at memorizing.
Okay.
Plus, I got kicked out of public school, and somebody told me you can't get kicked out of public school. Well, my parents told me I was kicked out, and they took me to a Lutheran school, and we were memorizing right and left there, like real interesting stuff like the Nicene Creed, the Ten Commandments and their explanations.
Well, could
So
you
I think-
recite the Ten Commandments for us here?
I don't even know them anymore, let alone their explanations. I think that started it, and then having to know songs.
Well, to answer your question, I have no idea if you can get kicked out of public school.
They do. They're school people, and you can't.
You can't?
Yeah, you go to public school, you're stuck. I mean, they're stuck with you. So
And you're stuck with them.
Some jubilation when my parents pulled me out of there. All
Okay,
right, well,
what are we
thank
going to
you.
sing?
I really enjoyed this. I kind of gave you some trouble, but
Well, and we had a few issues along with everything else.
yeah,
So, yeah.
it's been hell.
The first few minutes was,
This is a song called Follow Your Bliss. Thank you very much, Peter.
thank you. We're going to wrap it up after you. Well, no, I think we've got to wrap it up now. So sing it. Thank you for being with me.
was fun.
Remember, the Palms, November 8th at 8 o'clock in Winters. And then, remember to show up. And then Berkeley. When
Yeah.
is Berkeley?
Berkeley was Sunday.
Last Sunday?
Yeah.
Then we don't need to talk about it. How did the show go?
Good? Who's going to my show at the Palms?
Most
All
of
right.
us. Most of us. Oh, oh, and someone from the studio. Hey, before we go, I need to thank Pieter, the sound engineer, Una, the producer, and Chris. No, Chris is gone. I'm sorry, I forgot the cameraman's name. Tyler, for helping us out here, and Diane, of course, who sort of is masterminding and helping everybody. She fills in and does everything. So thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks, y'all.
And here we have Dirk Hamilton singing, I didn't hear the name of the song.
Follow Your Bliss.
Follow Your Bliss, that's it.
I'm tripping over strings attached to the gifts you gave me. Rolling off a log I was thinking was a lifeboat to save me. Please, don't drown me in your kiss. You're so complicated, I just wanna follow my bliss. Late one night in Napoli, somebody pulled a gun on me. Took my M&Ms, used me like an ATM. My empty wallet, in empty air, I shook my fist. Living can be dangerous, even when you follow your bliss. Hard-fought victories bring hard-won wisdom, and I'm looking through a prism, and I'm cursed with double vision. You only get this one shot. You can't afford to miss. The dice are on the table. Follow your bliss. Factor in prehistory, and life expectancy is 18. So it's a teenage dream. You can do anything. Go out and meet the king of Peking. Teach him to speak English with a lisp. And they'll say, life is very simple. Follow your breath. I saw Joseph Campbell riding on a camel with slaves to sell in Kabul. He said, I feel a fool. He sheathed his scimitar inside. Reincarnation is a bitch. Whatever you think it is, it's not. But follow your bliss. Well, I followed my bliss, but did I follow my bliss to